All right, what we're going over is a PAILS and rails progression for the hip, in particular in external rotation in what a lot of people call the pigeon pose. So what you're going to do is you're going to get into that pigeon pose by coming up on all fours, driving one leg forward, and then for the purpose of the PAILS and rails progression, you can actually go ahead and sink down and allow that hip to fall to the ground. If you need more of a stretch in this position, you can bring that leg higher. You can even elevate that leg up on a pillow or a block, yoga block, something like that, to get more of a stretch. If you need less of a stretch, alternately, you can block the knee, and that'll pull you a little bit out of that external rotation. But once you're in this position, we're going to go through the PAILS and rails progression. This is for a rotational movement. So we want to think about rotating and lifting the foot up off the ground and driving it down into the ground. Not the entire leg, but more rotating upward and downward. So for this progression, we'll start by driving the foot down into the ground. You're going to hold that for 5 seconds. And then after those 5 seconds, you'll lift up, trying to lift your foot up off the ground. But of course, because you're in a full stretch, you won't be able to do that. And then after those 5 seconds, you can sink into a little bit more of a stretch. And then go through the cycle again. Drive down into the floor, hold for 5 seconds, try to lift that foot up, rotating, and then hold that for 5 seconds, and then relax, sink into more of a stretch. I would progress the intensity over the course of 4 or 5 cycles. If you come out with too much intensity too quick, you might notice muscles start to cramp up. If that happens, pull out of the stretch, shake things out a little bit before sinking slowly back into the stretch again. Again, PAILS and rails progression for hip external rotation.